Sure. Mr. Wallenhurst?
Here.
Mr. Roberts?
Here.
Ms. Muskie?
Here.
Mr. Cox and Mr. Westbrooks are absent.
Okay, thank you. All right, before we get in, go ahead and approve the meetings from the November 17th agenda. Is there any comments or concerns?
I motion we approve them.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Oh, sure. Mr. Wallenhurst?
Here. Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Muskie?
Here. Yes.
Okay.
All right, we need to make a couple, need to make a motion to amend the agenda for a few modifications. First one being, item number 4 on the agenda has asked to be tabled or continued to the next meeting. That's Mr. Kramer with ASI signage for Divinity Landing. And to move item number 5, Mr. Blackwell with Enbridge is proposing to review the storm water plan for the Twinsburg Station on Shepherd Road. We need to move, request to move that to number 1 on the agenda.
I'll motion to approve it.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, go ahead and get started. Mr. Blackwell, if you could come forward, please.
Thank you, Mr. Cox.
Yeah, they used
It seemed like the place.
You got Mr. Cox.
Oh,
You can just let the record reflect that he arrived and
Yeah.
is a voting member.
Yeah.
Do that.
you know you're good to stay here. We'll just make it.
Sorry, I'm late.
You okay? Susan, if you could just let the record reflect that Mr. Cox is now in attendance for the meeting.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Blackwell, if you want to just give us an introduction to the project and what you're here to do, we'll go from there.
Yes, sir. No, we had previously submitted the project for stormwater approval as part of a replacement of all of our pipeline facilities and assets at the Twinsburg Station. The installation of that work was completed, and then due to budgetary reasons on the Dominion and Enbridge side, the abandonment and final site development was pushed out until this year and next year. We had some minor changes to the driveways, their configuration alignment relative to the previously approved plan, just due to changes in the final design, so the location of our tanks, assets, and mechanical facilities on the site. So we had some minor adjustments accordingly. However, there was no increase in the impervious area on this site relative to what had been previously approved. Roland Engineer handled that. Those calculations for us and submit the plans, and that we still just want to submit and get approval for our work before we commit to the final work next year. We've already done mechanical work on site to abandon our facilities and do that work. However, the final work to grade, get all the roads in place, the gravel, and things of that nature is scheduled for next year.
Okay. Go ahead and let Mr. Franz go through his comments that he had.
Sure. So welcome back. I remember when we went through this whole process, we had quite a few meetings as we
Sure.
talked through this, and so it took a minute when I went back to look at some of these,
Yes, sir.
sort of how things kind of unfolded at that time. And so I reported December 7th, which just speaks to where we are now and what was approved at that time. And so there were a few things according to my notes that were outstanding from that 2021 approval. So there was a lot combination that needed to occur because buildings were going over property lines. Like literally they were dividing the building in half. So you folks had agreed to combine the properties and would submit that application. I don't believe that's ever occurred. It's still showing as two separate properties on the county website. So that needs to be done, a lot consolidation from the 2021 approval. It looks like sheet 3 previously had shown in the site plan a detention basin on the northern parcel. It looks like that pond was installed, but I'm not sure if it was installed per plans. That's more for the city engineer. He'll talk to that issue. I did note I have access to the regional sewer district's aerials. There's been a lot of work on the property compared to what it was back in 2020. So it looks like you've done some or a good majority of what you were approved for. And then a revised landscape plan was required off of that previous approval. And that was changing the species type of the Norway spruce to a Colorado blue spruce. And I don't know that a landscape plan has come in, a revised landscape plan, so we'd still need that. And then it looks like now the current plan indicates the use of gravel driveways, permeable pavers, and gravel around the southeastern building. Back when this was all discussed in 2021, the city's code states that you have to install hard surface, concrete or asphalt. And it was concluded at that time asphalt would be installed to align with the code provisions. It looks like now you're requesting some permeable pavers, but also gravel to be installed. The Planning Commission doesn't have the authority to deviate from the code, so to do that, you would have to seek a variance from the Board of Zoning Appeals, which is separate from this Planning Commission. So I had recommended that this item be continued to a future meeting till we deal with getting the lot combination, the revised landscape plan, and then however you want to deal with the use of gravel versus hard surface, whether you want to go back and talk to your folks and install hard surface or seek a variance. That's your choice to do that. But the Planning Commission can't act on this until you do something to cure that deficiency.
Yeah, there's no problem with our operations group will always prefer asphalt to anything. I believe that the reason we were pursuing the gravel was to maintain a certain threshold with the permeable imperviability of the site.
Yeah, for
Mechanical.
your stormwater.
Yes, sir.
And the city engineer can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe gravel has a same runoff coefficient as asphalt or concrete, so I don't think it's gonna matter either way, but
Yeah, it's usually treated that way because over time, the gravel basically
Compact.
becomes impervious. Yeah.
So there's no issue to pursue the asphalt and make that change. For us, that's not an issue at all. Regarding some of the remaining items, that I wasn't aware of those. However, the previous engineer and project manager is with a different organization now, so we kind of go through this sometimes on projects where the people involved with permitting and things of that nature change. And so I will go back. I do know that there was on our end there was work done on the lot combination. So I will make sure that either goes through or has been formally submitted. And then for could you repeat the different spruce?
Oh yeah,
landscaping?
it's a Colorado blue spruce versus Norway spruce. I think that was on your frontage along the main road. You had the whole series of spruce trees, and we had noted that the Norway spruce has some issues with some disease now, and so we wanted to break that up. And that was,
Colorado?
yeah.
Okay.
And you may have put it in. I don't know. Maybe you've already done
Sure.
some of it, but it's not a significant issue, but an issue that just needs to be cleared up.
I'm thinking this thing good, yeah.
Colorado.
Is everything in the next one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
Vanderbilt wolf pine is a good one, or eastern white pine, a native would be great, maybe a mix.
yeah. This sounds like the
Just
blue
come up with a
spruce might have
suggestion.
some issues now too. They're susceptible to some
Change since
disease, so.
one toilet.
Ms. Meskey's a landscape architect, so I'd listen to her.
I will, we will put in whatever.
Yeah.
Could you,
Yes.
I was handing that memo and I've talked over you, sorry.
I've been switching, anywhere I'm inclined to do a Colorado blue spruce, I've been using Vanderwolf pine. It's got the same bluish color, but it's a lot hardier to conditions. If you want to do a mix, it was like eastern white pine or, white spruce. Those are not in trouble yet.
White pine or white spruce? White pine or white spruce, right?
Yes, or Vanderwolf pine.
Thank you.
And it might be good to, have a variety, just
Yeah,
because if
we-
one gets ill, they all
Yeah.
get diseased.
Just do a nice mix.
Is this the landscape that's up by the road though?
I think so, yeah.
Because they put in a number of stuff already there, I noticed when I drove by.
Yeah, that was my recollection, was it was mainly that buffer. So I don't know what's been installed, but you could have your folks look at it and indicate what's been installed and see if there's any deficiencies from what was approved.
I mean, if we have already put in the Colorado blue spruce, we can go back and make sense of the other variety
Sure.
as well, and just submit that as part of our follow-up.
I would-
I wouldn't
I'd like
take
to
anything
see-
out.
I'd like to see more stuff than what's there now.
Yeah,
If you-
I agree.
It's a large site, so no, I
Yeah.
understand.
Is that it, Mr. Friend? Thank you. Mr. Gelati?
Yeah, thank you. This conversation is good. I'll admit I was confused by the original submittal from a few weeks ago. And I'll tell you why. The existing conditions drawing sheet C1, I think he has it on the screen right there, doesn't reflect what actually exists today. And then page 3 in that document shows some proposed conditions, but they already exist. It sounds like you guys got partway through your project and then put it on pause. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's what
Okay.
we discussed was, we've gotten into construction with the mechanical components of the
Yeah.
project.
Okay.
And then that work was completed, and realizing that there was work to be done with with the city,
Mhm.
and say, well, let's drop back right now and kind of revisit this, make sure that everything's in alignment. And also to looking at this time of year, we want to suspend construction and make sure we know what we need to do for next year to get it right.
Okay, all right. So that helps clear up some of the confusion, which is why I didn't prepare a memo, because I wasn't really sure what the request was. It was
Sure.
hard for me to provide some feedback. So that leads me to a few things. It sounds like this needs to be continued anyway. So for the resubmittal or the continuation, can you or your design engineer Woolwind revise the drawings in a manner so we can see, where did this begin back in 2021? Where does it stand today? And what is it that you're asking to do from here to the finish line? This way we can all have a clear understanding, because I'll just speak for myself. My understanding was not clear at all, and maybe others had some confusion too.
Sure.
Because it wasn't described anywhere in the application or anything. Then you said previously, and it's a good thing, that you were reducing the overall impervious area or surface of the site. And if so, that's great. Can Woolwind show that calculation on the drawings? What was the impervious surface when we started, and what is the impervious surface going to be when the project is complete?
Yeah, because technically you have what you're requesting, and how I wrote it in my subject line, it's a revised final site plan. You're coming back and doing some revisions to something that was approved. So I agree with Mr. Gelati. We need to know what was it, what was approved, and what are the deviations proposed? And then it's just easier to understand for the planning commission to be able to act upon it. It doesn't sound like it's gonna be significant. I think probably the hard surface is gonna be the biggest thing to make sure you're
It will be.
accounting for drainage, but
Sure.
Yeah, the better our understanding, the easier it is for this body to approve, and then the easier it is for us to review administratively, so.
No, I'm interested in that, appreciate the comments and
Sure.
the information.
Mr. Gillette?
No, I think I'm good. Brian covered everything else.
I just have a question. This detention basin, was that existing or is it new? Because I was going through the files today and I couldn't find any permits being issued, but I did find some permission that was given to you by the EPA.
To my knowledge, pardon me, I'm sorry, I believe that there was the basin was for the construction of the building where we had the garage that was installed and set, and it was temporary relative to that construction effort.
Okay.
And then it wasn't part of the final plan. That's my understanding. I can confirm that and kind of resubmit it.
Yeah, I
Or
think
provide
that's,
a narrative of that, because where we are currently was to not have any retention ponds or basins, as part of an ongoing, site plan.
yeah, my recollection, and maybe this goes back to Brian's request for the lot split and consolidation plat. The area or the parcel to the north was developed into the garage and the parking lot 3 or 4 years ago, and it has a detention pond that goes with it. And that detention pond is complete, and that project is complete, but the parcel lines are still all wrong. So I think maybe that's where some of the confusion comes in.
Yes, sir.
So, and I guess to be clear, your request at this time is only for, let's call it the southern parcel.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
If there was a line here, you're only requesting
Yes.
for the south. From this line everywhere north, that project was completed a few years ago. You're not touching anything up there. Okay. And then if you do the lot split and consolidation, then that becomes cleaner.
Yeah, and I would agree, except that it's not completely. It was part of their final plan approval, so even though they're only doing to the south,
Yeah,
the north still play because it was all part and parcel when you got your
Correct.
approval.
it was all
So,
one.
Yeah, so I think doing it like the way we're saying is what was existing, what
Yep.
was there, what did you get approved for, and what are you asking for now will help us all understand.
I agree. We really need that. Yeah.
No,
And
absolutely,
if
that
that's
sounds
the
fine.
time you're talking about,
Right.
that was approved.
Yeah, okay, okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Good.
Okay. Any comments from the commission? Questions?
I'm good.
So, do you have any questions or?
No, just on my end, and when I reach out to Mr. Glenn, I will start the process of, I think, it might be prudent for myself, Mike Woolworth from Ward Engineering, who's our consultant on the site, to sit down with the city and maybe just have a conversation and walk some things through and make sure that what we submit meets and checks all the boxes. That's just my takeaway though, and then, and again, the lot consolidation, and I will verify on the frontage with what's been planned to be put in to date.
That's good.
Good. All right.
Yeah, I can be your point of contact.
Yeah,
if
that's,
you want.
Okay,
yeah.
that's all right.
I was gonna say, could you run it through Susan and Nino, all the communications?
Okay.
Thank you.
She's our clerk.
Okay. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we continue this to a further meeting. I don't know if we're gonna be able to make January's deadline as
So your
well.
deadline is December 20th for,
I think it would be more,
February.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, we'll just,
January 17th.
I'll make a motion that we just continue this to a future meeting in 2026.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, go back to, which is now item number 2, Ms. Clark with Ace Lighting Services proposing new signage for Outback Steakhouse located at 8250 Macedonia Commons Boulevard.
One of these days I have it. Great to have it.
Whatever, yeah.
Go ahead and state your name for the record, and then just give us a brief overview of what you're looking to do.
Kathy Clark. Basically, we are updating the east side, the west side location for the Outback Steakhouse. Currently, it's an old neon sign with backer boards and a little cabinet on the bottom, so we will update it with the new logo, channel letters, and a small cabinet that says Steakhouse. That matches the east elevation, so it gives it a better look overall.
Thank you. Just for the record too, she did provide updated signage with some of the additional things that Brian, Mr. Franz had requested, so I did provide those to Susan, Mr. Franz, and a copy here myself as well, so Mr. Franz, I'll let you go ahead.
Sure, my report dated December 6th. Yeah, basically the applicant did a good job of explaining the project. It's not super complex. The west building elevation is the only sign being modified. It's about 42.66 square feet. It's similar in size to the existing signage. The only thing I noted on my report was we didn't have the square footages for the existing signs, just to make sure, I don't think it's a problem at all, but just to make sure the overall site adheres to the total amount of square footage you're allowed, which is about 210 square feet. So I think it's okay in terms of how much you have. You're allowed a total of 208. You're really close. So that's what we would just need, that the square footage of those existing signs.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you needed the building frontage on each side for the overall square footage.
And that's helpful too, because
Okay.
I did it based on measuring off of an aerial.
Right, okay.
So mine's pretty close to being as exact as it can be,
Okay.
measuring off an aerial. So that's helpful. And I'm incorrect, the total site square footage that's allowed is 283, because you do have a bonus side of 40%, because you have a customer entrance on the side of the building facing the parking lot. So I do think you're most likely you're fine. I just really need the existing total of those signs.
Yeah, I can get those to you. We do have them, I misunderstood. Sorry.
Yeah, and if the commission's okay with it, I think it's fine to approve it subject to, and it can go to the building department, they can confirm it's below 283.
All right, thank you, Mr. Franz.
Nothing, sir?
I just want to say that I'm so happy to see you. I've been working on this project for over a year. At one point, the sign, the monument sign in the front would say "Our House." The rest of it was completely out. So,
Yeah.
and the one in the back is still out. So, thank you very much for doing this.
Any questions from the commission?
Make the motion?
Yep. Go ahead and make the motion that we approve the signage subject to Mr. Franz and administration reviewing that they are below the 283 square feet allowed signage amount.
Well, subject to administrative approval.
Yes, I said that.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
I'll second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Yes, she does. So you can stay here. Next item on the agenda is Ms. Clark with Ace Lighting Services is proposing site improvements for culverts located at 8143 Golden Lake Boulevard.
Kathy Clark.
Oh, we
So-
heard, yeah. Okay.
So anyways, Culver's is proposing another drive-through canopy, order station, and another menu board.
So this will be a second canopy?
It's a s-
The existing one will stay.
Existing is staying, so they're adding another one. Looks like, we got the measurements over to you guys earlier. They're about 18 foot apart from each other. So they really didn't show any, renderings. I see Brian added that one in the front, but I think it's gonna be farther, not really in the front of the store there, farther back, 18 foot. So,
When you say farther back from the front of the building, or?
Or maybe, I meant from this existing one. So, like if you look at this picture.
So the distance from here to here? so-
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Franz, I'll let you go with your memo.
Sure, yeah, that report's dated December 6th. And that's really the two issues. I mean, that didn't scale to 30 scale, the site plan, but that can be submitted as a revised plan to scale. But the two issues that I felt were issues to discuss was, one, the distance between the two menu boards, and it sounds like that they're 18 feet apart, which, most parking spaces are generally now 20 feet. So the concern is, will there be enough room from the point of the ordering at the new menu board to the back of the vehicle ordering at the existing menu board? It sounds like it's gonna be pretty close.
Right, it does.
Yeah, that was one issue, and then the other was just the aesthetics, because it looks like it's gonna be kind of planted right in front of the double windows on the front of the building. It may not be an issue, but I just raised it for discussion purposes. The distance between the vehicles is more of, that's a bigger concern, if there's gonna be enough room there to do it.
Probably have them mock something better up than just, the site plan, that way, to put the cars in there and everything, and how it's gonna look with the building there. To make it easier to understand for everybody too.
Yeah, cause
I think
this drawing, did you submit this tonight? This
Yes.
revised one?
Yes,
Cause it doesn't look like, what you're saying, the 18 feet, doesn't look representative on this.
okay,
And maybe because this isn't to a 30 scale, so maybe that's
okay,
what,
probably.
or at least it maybe to a 30
It
scale.
was.
It's printed on 8.5 by 11 paper
Oh,
and duplicated, so
Right.
it's not printed to scale.
Yeah, I apologize, this is what the
That's
sign
okay.
company had sent, so.
Yeah, so that could be the issue, is just optics,
Okay.
because the scale's a little
Right.
wonky, but
Okay,
yeah, it feels like it's very tight right there to fit it in. Oh, Bill, if you,
Yeah, I mean, if it were me, I'd make them 20 feet apart to coincide with the parking space.
Okay.
Just to make sure it operates correctly, because if one car doesn't get into just the right position,
right,
then only one menu board can be used, and the whole thing is useless.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, I'd probably make it 22 if I was me, but,
okay.
which may result in some of the shrubbery, if you, that was the other issue. Depending on how much further back you have to go, you may have to remove from that shrubbery,
Right.
which
Which is a shame. It's nice.
which wouldn't be desirable, but.
My recommendation was almost gonna be to almost mirror what you've done on this side, but again, I think just bringing that fact up, you would lose some of that shrubbery, where you would almost be
Right,
taking and putting that order board, so it almost lines up with like that window right there and there.
yeah,
Cause I think that would then ease the concern of the distance, and then also not blocking those windows with an order board or with that
Exactly.
canopy cover there. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Landscape light? I mean, could they?
Minus the fact of losing the landscaping, we could ask for more somewhere
Could
else.
always, replace it somewhere else, or,
Cause I understand
Put it
also trying to
around the
protect that
sign.
patio area too, provide some buffer there, but, so,
Yeah, 'cause if you're outside, you wanna hear that directly.
yeah, I get that. I was just wondering like if you could put like some type of planters on the edge of the patio that are rectangular in shape and put something in there.
I have a question. You think there's any problem moving the board back? I mean, why did they put it there in the first place?
Honestly, I don't know, but I don't think there's a problem, pushing it back. But I think, we need a better rendering and measurements that are accurate. So, because this was kind of lame, honestly.
When you're doing so, maybe it can be a
Let
little
the
bit more
record show
creative
it's
and
Yeah.
kind of protect that front yard look.
Yeah.
Right, I agree. So, I think we should do a better package and probably just resubmit with your suggestions.
Could they do that administratively too? I mean, it doesn't sound like a big change we're asking for, instead of coming back for a whole new hearing. Maybe if you could just do that, it would not require another fee and another hearing. I don't know, it's up to our chairperson.
I don't know if I feel very comfortable with that. I think we need to visually see this, especially because there's some distance issues, and Mr. Friend brought up some good points.
He actually, and the mayor has shared something with me, I didn't realize it was a law that went into place. There's a new law about, you have to have enough room in a double stack drive-through to be able to get a car out, involving, unfortunately, somebody who was shot at a drive-through.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So just wanna check to make sure you can conform with that.
Okay.
I don't know
Just
what
passed.
it is.
Last 2 weeks ago.
I remember that
Ever heard
incident.
about that, yeah? Mr. Monaco, do you?
No, I just agree. I think that the traffic study needs to be done and revised. I honestly don't think there's enough room there the way it's designed, so. Okay.
I think they were a little premature in submitting where, of course, Culver's is, here, do this, and then, they didn't do a little more homework on that,
Okay,
so.
okay, all right. So,
Do they have enough parking there, like more than enough? Like, I'm just wondering if they needed to get creative and lose a couple spots here to do something there, does that reduce do they get non-compliant on parking then?
Yeah, I don't, I mean,
Let
we'd have
them
to see.
propose that
proof.
to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could be too.
And if that is a potential solution, we just wanna know what the approved parking was, so we can know if it's enough for the building square footage. I think they're just parking.
all right, so based on what I think we're all agreeing to, and the applicant is as well, we'll go ahead and continue this to a future meeting. I'm gonna guess probably January would be too soon, so probably closer to February, okay. All right, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we continue this to a future date in 2026.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Great.
thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate your input.
Thank you. And the last item we have on our agenda is going to be Mr. Janzik with Optiva Solutions proposing a bank ATM island located at 8210 Macedonia Commons Boulevard.
So I'm not Mr. Janzik, I am representing Mr. Janzik.
Welcome to state your name for record. And jump right into it.
Sure. My name is Eric J. I am here on behalf of Optiva Solutions.
Okay, if you'd like to just go ahead and give us an overview of what you're proposing, and then go from there.
So are we proposing the ATM or was it the sign situation with the memorandum? Just, I know Brian had sent me a memorandum that you had put together for the signage. I didn't know how far along the whole process was, but was the ATM as well as the signage as a full package?
He was looking for a separate
Mr. Chair, did you want me to?
Yes, if you could please answer.
Sorry, I
that.
didn't-
Yeah, so there's two issues.
Okay.
You have an ATM that's proposed.
Yes.
Previously, it was too tall because it
Okay.
had like a tower element. Looks like you guys have revised it down, so it's compliant with height.
Okay,
And I raised it my last time I looked at it, a separate sign application would be required, so we understand the full request of what the signage is.
okay,
And so I just noted in this report that the ATM is not a building, in the way, in our definitions, buildings can have signs on various elevations. This isn't a building, it's considered a structure, and a structure can have one freestanding sign. And so there's
every time I
one
fill a
sign.
building permit out, I get into the same situation. It's a structure, it's not a building, but it is a building, but
Yeah.
it's not a structure.
Yeah, it's just how the definitions are, and
Yes.
so you're technically only allowed one sign.
Okay.
So I had just said in my report, basically, that you need to, the ATM I think is fine.
Okay,
And this, the commission needs to concur with that, but the signage will need to just have a full understanding of what you're requesting and hear the limitations, is basically what my report says.
okay, so when I go back to report to Optavia, the ATM as itself is good, the structure, not the building, is good as it is with the topper eliminated. Is that how
I
understand
believe
it?
so, and the commission
Okay.
probably would want to talk about that,
Not a
but from my
problem.
perspective, it's.
So the hiccup is the fact that it's a structure that is only allowed to have a single sign on it, and based on the type of structure that it is, wanting to have the visibility for the bank, they need a variance for additional signage,
Yep, basically, that's
Okay.
correct, yep,
which is not addressed here, that would be a separate.
correct. Yep.
Got it, okay.
And that's my report.
Well, thanks for having me. It was a
Dated December 5th.
Okay,
Nothing, sir?
okay.
Let me ask one question. The machine itself, can that say First National Bank? And then this thing could also say I forgot what Chase had on there, although I used it all the time. Their machine.
I don't believe, Chase had it just on the machine, I believe, and
Is
not
that it?
on the.
Okay. I was just curious on whether they could
Yeah.
have one up there somewhere and on the machine, would that be two signs? I
Yeah,
don't
this is
know.
all integral. It's all like one.
I have a copy of it. This is the current
That's it,
proposition, less the variance.
yeah.
They've kind of gone to a
Where did they want the sign?
structure.
Where did they want another sign? Where did-
Well, so this would be, it's currently drawn on all four sides,
I get you.
because there's a freestanding
Yeah,
structure
yeah,
that the
I
ATM
can
goes
see
into.
it from here, yeah.
Alright, from a structure standpoint, I don't see any issues. I feel like you guys have addressed what our concerns were the last time that you were
Okay.
here, so, I see no issues with the structure. From a signage standpoint, you guys need to make a separate application, whether if you wanna go for variance, recommend doing that first, and then
Okay.
coming back to us, with your final sign package. But, I don't know if the commission has any other additional comments, but, alright, I will go ahead then and make a motion that we approve the structure, updated structure that has been submitted for First National Bank, and that the applicant will be seeking either a variance or submitting a separate signage package for future review by the commission.
I'd second that.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you. Same. Okay. So we have special guest on here tonight. Okay, then we can, all right. Does anybody else have anything? Well, I guess the first thing before we do, I'd just like to thank Mr. Cox for his time here on the board. I understand that will be his last meeting, so.
Is that, okay, I don't know when my successor is coming, I can find.
One of the things I'll talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, this way.
We will just go ahead. All right, so I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at this time,
I'll second that motion.
6:10. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.